I started working on the show, and originally there's a type of theater called interpreter's theater, where you take all different kinds of media and you kind of combine them. So poetry, images, music, song, lyrics, and you merge them to create a show. And I started working with the idea of these three characters living in the apartment together. And with Livy being agoraphobic, my main area of interest is audience psychology and the fourth wall and how do you manipulate it.
I want to bring them in on this. They're the out there, right? My biggest fear? What do you think of Crazy Livy?
I started to think, what happens how can we make an audience on stage as a character, not necessarily the people in the theater, but can we make a viewer character? And then it was like, well, that's the internet. I mean, we could put very easy to put a camera in there. And then it was like, well, it could be more than just a webcam in their apartment. It could actually be a streaming feed that people could really watch.
We're doing new things that nobody really ever thought of before, and we can't go off of what somebody else has done at this point, which is a lot of times you do with theater. Like, you look at what somebody else has done, and then you branch off of it usually. But with this, we have to find out what works with test and, trial and error.
I think that this could potentially change the scope of theater entirely, like change the landscape. I mean, you're going to have the critics who say, like, okay, how's this different from a sitcom that's doing it in front of a live studio audience, yada, yada, yada. But sometimes you have to walk really close to the line to change things, and I think there is a very big potential for this sort of media in theater.
I just wanted to say hello and welcome.
As far as acting-wise, I think where the struggle comes is staying open to both audiences. It's kind of like performing almost in a theater in the round, where you have to be aware that there's people, on all sides of you, not just in front of you in the audience seats. And I think that's where it's unique for us as far as acting-wise, is because we have to remember that those people are actually watching the show, and it's not just a webcam. It's an audience that we're also working towards.
For such a small college, and being a community college is not, you would think there wouldn't be a whole bunch of people involved in this closely knit together, but all of us are all strangely attracted to one another in the sense that we have theater and we all get along great, and it's great when you have the backing of everyone behind you helping. The actors are backstage helping, so they have actually an involvement in the stage with the stage crew and in how things look with the set design and everything. And it makes you feel more proud when the actual show goes on, when you have more of a hand in it and you have so many people backing you up. And it's a little sense of relief when you don't have just 3 people doing this. Because, I mean, none of this stuff could have ever happened if we had just a little bit less people that weren't as motivated. So it's really nice to have a good group of people that know what they're doing and can take directions really well and get stuff done.
When you're actually a part of all the different aspects, it's really cool because, you get to bring your ideas into not only your character, but where they live, what you think, how you think they would decorate the apartment, how, what kind of furniture do you think they'd have. Working on it, you get your say, and it's not just, here, this is what you're going to wear, here, this is where you're going to act. It's really cool to be able to take your character work that you've done for acting and bring it into other aspects of the show.
When you have your own sweat and your own blood kind of pouring into just every corner of the show, it really kind of brings it more to life. I think it's a richer process.
Opening night, it's finally here.
Excited.
We started auditions before Christmas. So you've been working for 4 or 5 months, however long, And it's exciting to be able to finally get to that point where you can share it with someone.
A little nervous, a little nervous, but I always feel a little nervous.
Right now, I'm nervous. I know it's going to be really good, but I just want to do a really great job.
As far as the actors on stage doing the show, they're really in good shape, and we did a lot of great work last week. I'm really confident that people are going to really enjoy their story.
I've heard things from, like, especially people that have seen it online and here, that how much different it is online. Everyone has been really impressed with it. They went into it thinking that it was just going to be, this little webcam and okay, whatever, they're doing a play, and they were all very impressed with how much the webcam was actually incorporated into the show.
I'm kind of eternally optimistic about what people will jump into, and while young people, and by that I mean like 30 and under, they're fascinated by it, they're really interested in it, they think it's great and it's innovative. What we are finding at kind of the higher level, especially in academia, when we get to, go to the presidents of the, or the heads of the colleges of theater and things like that, is they're kind of unilaterally rejecting it. Incorporating media in theater is very controversial, and I haven't been able to figure out exactly why, because I'm kind of a let's just try everything and see what happens. And I don't know if some people, for them it's purity, but I think for some people they are not ready to allow theater to be compared to other medias in the same arena. Like, if we can keep theater separate, we have to judge it only based on comparing it to other theater. If we merge it into mass media, we then have to hold it to the standards that we hold film and television.
I loved the webcam. There was a moment where Max goes and talks to it, and that was one of the most, I liked it a lot. It was really weird. It was like talking to someone that, obviously, the camera's there, and it's not a person, but there's probably someone at the other end of the camera, and it's kind of like you're addressing a whole bunch of people at once, and they just have to listen. And it was interesting. It was kind of difficult to pull motivation for, but once I got it, it was one of the most rewarding experiences of the show.
Livy? Birdie?
I wanted it to be clear that Max's feelings for Livy were much, much more than just friendship, and that even though they never were able to be together, that they were really on the same wavelength, that that they were really connected in some way, even if it could never be a romantic one, that their connection was very, very profound.
So much for this.
But I also didn't want it to be an easy ending, because life's not easy.
It really kind of doubles the finality of the show. I mean, when you're watching it like on Friday, or if you're doing it on Friday or whatever, it's like, okay, well, I get to do this again tomorrow. But now it's like, oh my God, Livy's really gone, and Livy's not going to be back tomorrow because the show's over. And it was a little emotional for me.
Michelle even said, she's like, I noticed yesterday that you were, it's okay if you tear up because you're done. You don't have to talk anymore, So, I mean, there's definitely, you definitely know, like, especially towards the end, like, that it's over.
Just for the time it buys me, fold my heart up small, or break it into pieces, find somewhere and keep it there, take it when you go.
I'm really proud about the project, but I'm definitely going to miss performing it, and it's going to be weird not spending so much time down here.